Today we're going to be moving into a new concept called polynomials, and we're going to start out by dealing with the addition and subtraction of those. To get us started, I've got a picture. This is that chalk artist again, and he's drawn a really cool thing here. You can see the crack in the sidewalk where he has just shaded over the top of the sidewalk itself. First of all, some definitions. A polynomial is an expression with terms like ax to the k, where k is a non-negative integer. So hey, be excited, no more negative exponents anymore. So an example would just be 2x cubed. And you can have that with or without the parentheses. I'm not actually quite sure why I had them in there in the first place, but 2x cubed would be an example of a polynomial. So let's talk about the different parts. K is the degree of ax to the k. So if it was the fourth power, it would be degree 4. A is the coefficient. It's just a fancy way of saying the number in front. So the degree of the polynomial, so if you have more than just one term, the degree of the polynomial is the highest degree in the expression. So some different kinds of polynomials. Once they started coming up with this whole concept of polynomials, they decided to give them names. So first of all, if you have a monomial, mono means one, so there's one term, such as 2, 2x, or xy. Those are all examples of monomials. Binomials is when you have two terms that are either added or subtracted together. So we've got x plus 2 and 3x minus 5y. Those are binomials because there are two pieces. Trinomials have three terms, so there are three different pieces. 3xy minus 6y plus 6. There are three individual parts when it's simplified. So the person or people involved in creating the ideas for polynomials, they decided monomials, binomials, trinomials, this is a boring game, and they just decided to call everything else a polynomial. So our next example, we are going to be simplifying the polynomial expression 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus x, and we're adding to that 2x squared plus x cubed minus 1. Now there's a couple different ways that we can do this. One thing that we can do is to align these vertically. So I'm going to rewrite that first polynomial, 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus x, and I'm going to write the second polynomial directly underneath so the different like terms are on top of each other. So 2x squared is going to go with my 5x squared. Since it's positive, I'm going to make this positive. X cubed is going to go under my 2x cubed. And then minus 1, well, here I've got x. I don't have any constant terms, so I'm going to put in a plus 0, and I'm going to bring my minus 1 underneath that. Since I don't have any terms here underneath my x, I'm going to put plus 0x so I don't get confused. Now I can add these together vertically. 2x cubed plus x cubed is going to be 3x cubed. Negative 5x squared plus 2x squared is going to be negative 3x squared. X plus 0x is just plus x. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So my final polynomial is 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus x minus 1. That's one way that we can do that. This will work and this will work every time. However, it does get kind of messy. So I'm going to show you a different option with example 3. Example 3, we've got 5x cubed plus 4x minus 2x plus 4x squared plus 3x cubed minus 6. So what I'm going to start out by doing, I'm going to rewrite the whole polynomial, but since I'm adding, I'm going to take away the parentheses. So I've got 5x cubed plus 4x squared minus, plus 4x minus 2x plus 4x squared plus 3x cubed minus 6. This method was actually a method I used even in college. It seems a little bit elementary school or kindergartenish, but like I said, I used it all throughout college to help me organize. And what I did, I made some sort of symbol around my like terms. So for example, I might put kind of a squarish rectangle around everything that's got the cube, x cubed. Notice with this 3x cubed, I included that positive sign so I would remember what my sign was. Let's say around my x squareds, I'm going to put a triangle. Again, notice that I included the addition sign. Excuse me. I'm going to kind of do some ovalish circles around my terms with just x. And I'm going to do a squiggly underline under my constants. So now when I go through, I can just go through shape by shape to make sure I've completely simplified. So starting with my x cubed, since that's the biggest exponent, and you want to go from greatest to smallest, just to keep it in order. 5x cubed plus 3x cubed gives me 8x cubed. So now I'm going to move to my x squared terms. I just have 4x squared. 4x's minus 2x's is going to be a positive 2x's. And then I've got my minus 6. So my polynomial is 8x cubed plus 4x squared plus 2x minus 6. Again, this is a polynomial since there are 4 terms. The degree of this polynomial would be degree 3 because that is the biggest exponent that we have for this problem. Let's try something similar with example 4. Example 4, we've got 4n squared plus 5, and I'm subtracting the whole polynomial, negative 2n squared plus 2n minus 4. We're going to end up having to change some things because of this subtraction sign in the middle. You can think of this as kind of distributing a negative 1 to each part in your second polynomial, in this case our trinomial. And with this trinomial, we're going to have to change all of the signs in it. So that means this is going to turn into 4n squared plus 5. Those signs don't change because they're in front of the negative. Then I'm going to have plus 2n squared minus 2n plus 4. I'm going to go through and mark my like terms. So let's see, I've got n squareds, I've got n's, I've got constants. So let's see, n squareds, 4n squared and 2n squared is 6n squared minus 2n. 5 and 4 is plus 9. So I've got 6n squared minus 2n plus 9. Again, that's a trinomial in this case since there are 3 different parts, and it's got degree 2 because that's the biggest exponent. We'll try one more. For this one, I want you to try it on your own. Make sure you distribute your negative and change all the signs just in your second polynomial. Combine only the things that have the same variable and their same exponent. Pause your video at this time. Did you get the polynomial 4x cubed plus 7x squared minus 2x plus 13? If you did, give yourself a smiley face. If you didn't, go back and try it again. See where you made your mistake. Was it a sign error, or are you still having problems with this? For your homework tonight, I want you to simplify these 4 polynomials. Make sure that you only combine the like terms and be very careful of your signs. See you tomorrow.